Ladies, gentlemen, welcome to my guide for the Doomsday Heist Elite Challenges. In this guide, we'll be using only a pistol to immediately also get the challenge done for the career challenges on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. I will be calling out different weapons you can use throughout the video, so if you see me only using a pistol, you will know why. First and foremost, if you are going for a pistol-only run of the Doomsday Heist, you only have to do the finales for this one. So what you want to do to make your life a lot easier and prevent any sort of errors from happening is going to any of your gun lockers and making sure you only have the AP pistol enabled. If you're just simply going for the Elite Challenge only, you can use whatever weapon you wish to use. For Act 1, you definitely want to be using the Route 68 facility for your best chances of beating the time. Act 1, by far, in my opinion, is the most difficult one. You want to be using something like an Akuchi Drag with HSW if you're on new gen, or a Vigilante if you're on the older platforms. When not going for the pistol challenge, you can also decide to use the missiles on the Vigilante to make quick work of the enemies in front of the building. As soon as you arrive inside, you want to keep moving and shooting as fast as you possibly can. Make sure to prioritize headshots over body shots, because if you shoot them in the body, they'll drop down like a sack of potatoes and it will be very difficult and very annoying to kill. When playing this with two players, you want to make sure to have a side of the hallway each. This way you'll be able to cover more angles and prevent your teammate from getting shot in the back or be surprised by any other enemies. Make sure to take out the enemies on the walkway before you move on to the next section. This is arguably one of the two choke points within the finale, so you want to make sure that once again you take a side each and take out enemies as best as you can. One mistake that I personally made within the footage but decided to leave in is going behind cover here. If it wasn't for my teammate being on that other side of the hallway, I would have been very dead. After taking out the two guards on the walkway, you can make your way to the second choke point of the finale. Most of the enemies are going to be spawning in the middle, but do keep an eye on your left there for an additional guard on the walkway. Make sure to take cover behind one of these green crates and keep an eye on the middle as more enemies will spawn. As soon as you see that it's relatively safe, push forward and kill the remaining enemies that are in that middle section there. Then you want to jump down without landing on this guard, or just simply walk down the stairs, whatever you find the most comfortable. Then inside of this section, each of these rooms will have one or two guards, so keep an eye out for your minimap, or just make sure to check all the rooms before you move on to the next set of stairs. One more time, you can either jump down or go down the stairs, it's entirely up to you. First person is quicker here. Then in the final room, you want to kind of keep on shooting. In the back of the room, there's also a bit of a gas tank that you can shoot, which hopefully will take out an enemy or two as well to make your life a bit easier. If you're not going for a pistols only run, using an RPG shot to get rid of all the enemies behind cover will go a long way. As soon as you're done in that room, it's a good idea to go into first person and run up the stairs. Going upstairs in first person is a little bit quicker because effectively you're just gliding over it, which is very nice. As you can see in the footage as well, by the way, I did accidentally swap to an AK, but that's totally fine. As long as you don't shoot the AK and just keep shooting your AP pistol instead, you will not be voiding the pistol challenge. The same thing goes for whenever you start using the turret. Mission vehicles, thus also this turret, is allowed to be used within the finale. In this section, you really want to try to kill as many enemies as quickly as possible, because there's also a requirement of killing 78 enemies. So try to take out as many vehicles, helicopters and loose enemies around the area to make sure you can also hit that target. It's not too difficult to hit, but the turret section is definitely going to be the main place where you're going to be scooping up the final kills that you will need. For the Act 2 finale, your best facility is going to be the one in Toledo Bay. Yes, I know that is super ironic. You want to start off by using, once again, an Akuchi Drag with HSW, or use a Vigilante or any other fast bike or vehicle to make your way to your Stromberg or Avenger as quick as possible. In this guide, we'll be looking predominantly at the ground team in the Stromberg, because the Avenger, really all they have to do is open up their interaction menu, engaging autopilot, and just spend the entire heist doing nothing but shooting down helicopters. If you are able to do that, congratulations, you are successful in being a part of your team. Sarcasm aside, as a submarine team, you want to keep account for the fact that the submarine is moving and your aim will not always be on where you left it. You probably can see in the gameplay that I'm not actually drunk, but instead it's what the game is actually doing when inside the submarine. Normally it is much easier to use a assault shotgun within this section, and first person might also actually be preferred when doing so. The assault shotgun will make very very quick work of any of the enemies that are in front of you. Keep doing what I'm doing on screen and try to do some jumps as well whenever you go into a straight line for some additional speed. When the cutscene is played and you're in the water, you want to make your way to the island where the adventure is landing on in the gameplay. The adventure pilot can also decide to land here at the start of the heist and take out helicopters from here so they don't have to move around at all. However, as far as I'm aware, it is a little bit more likely that you can get a lot of damage if you're not quick enough, so staying in the air and keeping a distance is probably the safer option. As soon as you're in the air with the adventure, you want to follow the route that I'm showing on screen, which basically means that you want to stay on the side of the island and just keep following the ocean until you hit LSIA. Time is really not your enemy here. The main thing you want to be worried about is how damaged your adventure gets, so staying in the air is probably the safest option. For the Act 3 finale, you are able to also use Route 68, but if you want to have the closest facility possible, get the one that is called Sandy Shores. Having said that, you are actually able to use Trip Skip to make your way to the barrage and the Kanjali at the start of the heist. This will not affect your Elite Challenge timer. Having said that, this might be a bug and can be patched in the future, so make sure to check back in the comments if that is indeed been patched. As soon as you arrive at the vehicles, you want to grab the Kanjali. Now, this will mean that for the next 5 minutes, you might have to start having an engaging conversation with your partner because the Kanjali is very slow, but it will give you excellent protection and will allow you to make quick work of those 4 juggernauts that are going to be spawning as soon as you enter the facility. As soon as the juggernauts are down, the hardest part of the heist can officially begin. You want to start making your way from cover to cover and try to avoid staying in an open area as much as you can. If you're using a pistol, obviously you're going to have to get a little bit closer because of those headshots. Yes, again, headshots are going to be vital here, because not only will you be able to take out targets quicker, you will also have to get a total of 150 headshots. So make sure that those headshots are going to be your top priority. Even if an enemy goes down, it is worth it to just let them get back up again so you can still shoot them in the head. When you're in the first hallway and the first juggernaut will come close to you, make sure to stay as far left as you possibly can so they cannot shoot you, but you can still shoot them. This is something called corner peeking. If you have a wall on your left, you are basically behind the wall but you're still able to shoot. Try to utilize as much as you can instead of using cover. This way you will not be able to get shot, but you will be able to shoot them. Also, incredibly important if you're going for the pistol only challenge to shoot the boxes and not use the sticky bombs. Using the sticky bombs will void your challenge and you will have to do it again. Keep focusing on getting as many headshots as possible while staying in cover and avoiding being out in the open. Keep a very close eye on how much health and armor you have. You're much better off using too many snacks than too little snacks, because these enemies can shoot you out of nowhere and will kill you very quickly if you are not careful. The person who took the left lane at the start of this section can use this shortcut and kind of back up in order to make sure that they don't have to deal with a long lane of enemies that are going to be on that side. This way you'll be able to stick together and utilize a much safer route in order to avoid all that enemy gunfire. Especially those juggernauts, if you're using a pistol, it's going to be vital to take this route instead of that left lane. And make sure to pay attention that you don't go too quick, because those juggernauts will be waiting for you at the end of this hallway. What you want to do is do the exact same as we did before. You want to hug the wall on your left so you're basically able to shoot the juggernaut, but they will not be able to either see you or will not be able to shoot you. The best way to explain it really is by making you watch the footage so you get a general idea of what I'm doing. Just be far enough so you can actually see and shoot the juggernaut, but not be too far so they can actually mow you down with the minigun. The moment the juggernaut will see you, the likelihood of you getting mowed down by him is very, very high. The moment the juggernauts are down, you can safely move upwards, but you want to keep a close eye of what's happening on your left side. There should be about 3 or 4 enemies on the left side there, so make sure to take those out so they cannot shoot you in the back or do some of that wonderful rapid fire stuff. Once those are down, you made your way through the final hallway. It is time for the larger section and probably the last difficult bit of the heist. This section is predominantly just a little bit awkward. What you want to do is you want to shoot the doors and basically try to stay there and let the enemies kind of come to you. You don't want to just rush out in there and just walk out in the open, because they will shoot you from every possible angle and you will die. Keep an eye on your snacks and armor again, and once again keep going for those headshots for both the challenge as well as for quick work if there are any enemies behind cover. A good tip to use as well: if you see your aim dot turn red, just take a shot or two. Who knows, you might even hit a headshot. There's a few locations inside of this section you want to be very careful of as well, which are predominantly going to be the balconies. Sadly, you won't really be able to get that good of an angle on them, so you really have only one option: either get a headshot or just keep shooting them with 1 or 2 bullets and watch them fall down again. This is very risky, so if they do get up, try to make 100% certain you will hit that headshot, or stay in cover if you are too afraid. The moment that you notice that the floor is pretty empty, you can make a move up to the location where I am here. Obviously, don't be afraid of blind firing, because you might get a lucky shot or two and you will get that headshot. Stay in cover here until the area is clear again, and then move up again, and then make sure to keep an eye on your left, well, there will be another enemy on that balcony. Take that out first, because again, you will get shot in the back and it will hurt. The moment that section is over is when stuff is going to become far easier. You just simply want to keep an eye on your minimap to see where the enemies are spawning, and the teammates that are focusing on killing everything will just have to continue to do so. As for the hack, for every single hack you will have 2 lives available to you. The hack really comes down to solving the puzzle. You really just want to avoid hitting any of the red bars, but even if you do, you can hit 2 of them before you will completely fail. If you fail a hack or quit it out prematurely, you will fail the elite challenge. So try to take your time with it, because honestly, you have all the time in the world. The rest of the section really is just rinse and repeat. You hack a target, try to help out your buddy clearing out some of the enemies and going for some more headshots, and as soon as you see it relatively safe, you can move on to the next hack. If you're not feeling super confident with the amount of headshots that you've gotten thus far, just wait until you do the 4th hack. Enemies will continue to spawn in this section indefinitely until you have done the final hack. So if you want to be extra certain that you have enough headshots, just simply keep farming headshots before you do the final hack. As soon as you're done with the final hack, you can make your way upstairs and use the orbital cannon. Shoot down the targets and then make your way downstairs for the final combat section. Inside of this combat section, one thing is very important that you do. If you're going for the pistol only challenge, make sure that you don't get too close to the enemies, because pistol whipping can mean that you will fail the challenge for the pistol only. But in general, the main thing you want to avoid doing is shooting the explosive crates that are littered within these hallways. Shooting them has a likelihood of either killing you or your teammate, so make sure to avoid those as much as you can. You can of course also utilize those to try to take out enemies, but it is a risky strategy, so keep that in mind. Obviously, if you're not going for pistol only challenge here, an assault shotgun could be useful. However, based on the fact it's a buckshot and it can leave some stray bullets into an explosive crate or two, you probably want to stay with something that is a little bit more automatic, such as an assault rifle or something else. After that combat section is over, the heist itself is basically done for 2. It's just a matter of locking onto Avon and killing him, and then making your way to your observatory to watch the final cutscene. And that is all there is to it. That is how you get all the elite challenges inside of the Doomsday Heist. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, make sure to leave it a like, subscribe for more. And if you like what you see on our channel, become a member like Chloe, GTA Plus, Left Lane Looney, OnlyFans Made Me Do It, and Notorious Jam. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.